So those are the drivers. Now as for a team, which team's got the most? BAR got 15 podiums, but did not get a victory. So of course, they were only really in for a short period of time. They were from 1999 to 2005, so they would have probably taken about... So yeah, during that time, who would have been dominating? Ferrari. So that would have made it pretty difficult. And then they had a bit of a collapse towards the end, and then they left. Toyota is second with 13. Arrows is third with 8. Force India is fourth with 6. And then we got another 4-way tie between Lola, Filipati, Tolman, and Prost, who all got 3 podiums, but wasn't able to find a victory as a team. Next up, we got who's taken the most races before scoring a point. That record is Nicola Larini, who did not get a point until his 44th race. So of course, back in his stage, would have probably been only about top 6 cars would have gotten points. So of course, you can see in a way why it would have been difficult for them to get points. But you can definitely admire their commitment when they've taken that long to get a point. The most recent is, of course, Jules Bianchi, who took his 25th race before getting his first point, and is equal 8th with Jan Magnussen. Well, Jonathan Palmer is second. He got it in his 42nd race. Then got a two-way tie here for both 3rd and 5th. So 3rd, Philip Elliott and Alexandro Nannini. And 5th, Alex Caffey and Yukio Katayama. And if you look at that, basically every single one of them, it would have been during the time where the drivers would have got 6 points. So you can probably take them with a pinch of salt. Speaking of pinch of salt, the drivers who have entered the most races but failed to get points. Technically, well, according to the F1 record books, this belongs to Luca Badoa, whom, for those who do not know who he is, he's probably debatably the world's worst Ferrari substitute driver in quite a while, if ever. He entered 58 races, but did not get a point. But under the modern points system, he would have gotten 26 points. So for me, technically he doesn't have that record. Technically the record should belong to Charles Pic, who of course was around the time with Caterham and Marussia. He entered 39 races but did not get a single point. He's second on the list, but for me, technically he should be the record holder, because but Ola technically didn't get points in his F1 time. He would have points now if they brought in the technology then. And Max Chilton is next, 35. Brett Longer, 34. Oh god, this is gonna hurt my head. Taranosuke Takagi would be next with 32. And then we would have a 3-way tie between Mike Butler, Enrique Bernaldi, and Scott Speed, who started 28 races, but did not get a point. So whilst Badoa technically holds the record according to F1, technically for me, Charles Pic would have the record because he spent the longest time without getting a point. And now onto the team side. And top spot, we have a tie between two teams whom we all may remember, as they're both recent teams. HRT and Caterham. So HRT was, of course, around that small time between 2010 and 2012. So they entered 56 races and only really achieved 13th, so they couldn't. Whilst they were better than Lotus and probably would have been Marussia back then, they weren't able to find any points. Caterham, I actually thought they would be higher. I actually thought they might have been top spot, because I'd forgotten that in 2010, 2011, they were actually known as Lotus, or as another Lotus team. And then obviously between 2010, 2011, 2012, they went under a different ownership, so they became Caterham. So that then meant that between 2012 and 2014, they were then known as Caterham. And whilst, of course, there was also that time that I missed a few races because they went into administration. So technically, if they were in those two races, they would be top spot. So instead, we actually have a tie between HRT and Caterham for most races without scoring a point for a team. And next would be Lotus and Virgin, who were the pre-defects to... Lotus was pre-Caterham, and Virgin was pre... Marussia, there we go. And then Ram is 5th, who started 31 races. Next up, we got the most seasons before getting a championship. So this one, maybe they might want, because I mean, at the end of the day, they're still a champion. It doesn't matter how long it took them. They still got a championship, better than what I would ever achieve, and probably better than without sounding rude, what most of us would achieve. So that record belongs to Nigel Mansell, who got a championship in his 13th season. So he started in 1980 and then got championship in 1992. Most recent is Nico Rosberg, who got it in his 11th season. So he, of course, started in 2006, and then got the championship in 2016. Then we got a tie for third between Mario Andretti and Jenson Button, who got it in their 10th season. We got a tie for 5th between Jody Schlachter and Mika Hakkinen, who got it in their 8th season. Next, we got the most wins without a championship. So Sterling Moss has got this record. He won 16 races between 1951 and 1961, but was unable to achieve the championship. David Coulthard is 2nd with 13. Carlos Reutemann is 3rd with 12. And then we got double Brazilian ties for 4th between Felipe Massa and Rubens Barrichello, who got 11 wins. Max Verstappen is on this list at the moment. He is equal 9th, who's, of course, won 8 races. So it's only really a matter of time to see if Max will be able to win a championship, or if he will just be stuck in that spot. And now we kind of gonna move on to the obscure records, whom people would not really talk about, but they're still records, and they don't think they'd want this record. So first up, we got most runner-up finishes. So people may think, probably Barrichello, because he was stuck behind Schumacher all the time, or Heidfeld, because as I said, he got the most races without a victory, or most podiums without a victory. But no, this actually belongs to Michael Schumacher as well. So Michael Schumacher, of course, has won 91 races, but he finished 2nd 43 times. So imagine if only 9 more of those second places turned into a top spot, he would be at 100 wins. So you just think of that. Uh, yeah, so like 134 times Michael Schumacher finished in the top 2 positions. So yeah, that would just be mind-boggling that someone would finish in the top 2 that many times across their Formula 1 career. So now we've talked about second place. What about third place? Or as a bronze medalist, I would say at the Olympics. Who's finished third place the most? This belongs to Kimi Räikkönen. So another record to a modern day driver. Kimi Räikkönen finished third 43 times. Oh, scratch that, 45 times. Sebastian Vettel, 32 times, is second. So he could improve. Because Kimi, unfortunately, is in Alfa Romeo now. And I don't really picture them as being much podium contenders, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. Just saying. Then we got a three-way tie for third between Rubens Barrichello, Fernando Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton. I forgot to write it in my notes, but I think it's 27 times those three finished third. I really hope I'm right. Oh wait, no. I've recorded and it's on my phone, and I'm recording on my phone, so unfortunately I can't find that result. So, yeah, hopefully I'm right with 27. If I'm not, please don't kill me. And I forgot to mention about the top two, second place, who's finished second the most. I mentioned Schumacher's top. I forgot to mention the rest of the order. So, Lewis Hamilton is second. He just done it 39 times. Then we got a tie for third and a tie for fifth as well. Third, we got Fernando Alonso and Kimi Räikkönen with 37. And then we got Sebastian Vettel and Alain Prost, who finished second 35 times between the two of them. Now we've got, well, retirements. They happen. They can come out of nowhere. They just happen and you can't control it, and yeah, they just happen. So starting with most retirements. So I got a bit of conflict of interest here between Wikipedia and F1stats.com. So, Wikipedia says that Andrea de Cesaris, something like that, has the record outright 148. But technically, it's 147. Because one's taken down as a retirement when it's not actually a retirement. He actually still finished the race. I think it was a Belgian Grand Prix in 1 year, 1986, but he still classified as a finisher, even though he had to push his car behind across the finish line. I admire your commitment. So technically, this is up for debate. So Cesaris could have it outright, or it could be a tie between himself and Riccardo Patrese, who retired 147 times, so it'd be a tie between the two of them. So, yeah, Riccardo Patrese and Andrea de Cesaris would have the record for equal retirement, 147. Not even Pastor Maldonado, I reckon, could achieve that many retirements in one season. And something tells me that will never be broken. Because if you're going to retire 147 races, I don't think your bosses will be overly happy. Unless McLaren Honda comes back. Nah, that'll never happen. So yeah. Next would be Mikhail Alberito, who retired 102 times in his career. Fourth place is actually surprising to me. Rubens Barrichello retired in 97 races. So, yeah, you kind of expect, probably mostly backmarket teams who didn't have a lot of reliability would probably be up there, and people who have money to throw, so they end up retiring a lot, but people keep giving them chances because of money. But, yeah, and then Rubens Barrichello has retired the fourth most times. It's kind of surprising to me, because, yeah, he's with Ferrari for that long. You expect reliability, but obviously across his time, he retired basically 1 in every 3 races. And in fifth place is Jared Berger, who retired 95 times in his career. What's not up for debate is next consecutive retirements. So whilst the total retirements is a bit up to debate, because did DeSazy retire 147 times, he retired 148 times? Well, this is not up for debate. Consecutive retirements. Andreas DeSaries retired 22 consecutive races. 22 consecutive races. So to put that in perspective, if he raced every year this year, he'll retire basically every single one of them, because I'm pretty sure it's 23 or 24 races across the year. So to retire 22 times, he'll retire every single race. Retirement. So that was across 3 seasons, I think it was. So not even McLaren Honda could achieve that. Ivan Capelli is next with 14, and if DeSazy's not enough, I swear I keep pronouncing his name differently. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. He has an equal third most retirements as well, with 12, with Alice Caffey, and then Riccardo Patrese and Jacques Villeneuve equal fifth with 11 consecutive retirements. So would you look at that? A former world champion retired 11 consecutive races in 1 year. Wow. So I guess even the best have their moments. And now we kind of got outlying records. Well, as if those few previously mentioned aren't outlying records. These definitely are. And I just can't really pass them. There are a few others I've passed, but these I just can't. So most penalties in one season. Pastor Maldonado. 10 penalties in 2014. I reckon nowadays, if these were actually infiltrated, he would not have a ride by the end of the season. He just wouldn't. Because 10 penalties, I'm pretty sure every single penalty now would incur penalty points. Accumulating all those up, I think once you lose about 12, you're suspended for a race. And then, doing it again would likely have more suspension. You're likely be disqualified from your license. Racing license, not actual license. So, yeah, that would suck for him, I guess. Now I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna leave the next one last. I'm gonna go to the next one afterwards. A person who's been overtaken the most in one season, or I guess you can call the standing Witch's Hat Award, goes to Charles Peake, who got overtaken 70 times in 2012. You'd think that record would probably go to like a team back when they had 4 grids, 30 odd grids, and then they'd have pre-qualifying and then actual qualifying, and you'd have a shitload of teams there, and everyone's there, and it's all happening. But no, Charles Peake getting overtaken 70 times is the record. The previous record was 68. I don't know the rest of them. Vettel's peak now owns the record with 70. And now I'm going to save the best for last. Unlike the rest of them, I'm going to mention the driver first. Sebastian Vettel. Multiple time world champion. Currently with Ferrari. Likely his career might be coming to an end because he's unfortunately around at that age where his driving skills probably aren't as good as they used to be. Please don't kill me, Ferrari fans. So you're probably thinking, what record would Sebastian Vettel have that no one would want? Well, the record is the shortest time to elapse a penalty. Sebastian Vettel got a penalty in 9 seconds. 9 seconds into his F1 career, he gets a penalty for speeding in pit lane. 9 seconds. He couldn't even last 10. Not even Pastor Maldonado was that bad. Geez, could you imagine? You're in an F1 car for the first time. Yeah, in a test session, you're a test driver. You're trying to impress teams to get a decent ride next season. 9 seconds in. Yeah, Seb, sorry. Yeah, you got a penalty for speeding. Yeah, not overly impressive, mate. Yeah. There goes your pay for the weekend. But, yeah, I think he went overly well for himself after that short mistake. I mean, he's only a multiple-time world champion. He's got multiple records for being the youngest driver to do things. So I guess he's done well for himself. So finally, this wraps up the videos, because this video is being split into 2 bits. Thank you all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, @the_Shardy_guy. Hopefully, no more records are set this season. Hopefully, Nico Hulkenberg does well in his future endeavors. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.